Government statement released just a few hours ago. The president's private residence was attacked at around 1 o'clock in the morning and the president shot dead. The attackers haven't been identified. Haiti's First Lady Martine Moïse is reported to be injured and in hospital. Well, covering this story for us today is our Foreign Affairs editor, Philip Turl. He's with me now. Philip, clearly this is a fast-moving story. Tell us what we know for the moment.
Well, the latest information coming out of Haiti is, in fact, that the First Lady has died of her injuries. First Lady Martine Moïse. So that makes a double assassination with her husband also being shot dead. What we know so far is that gunmen broke into the residency where the president was. This is at about 1 o'clock in the morning last night. These gunmen, nobody really knows who they are, but what they do know is that some were speaking Spanish and some were speaking English. They then opened fire on the president and on his wife. He was reported dead pretty soon after that, but apparently their son escaped unharmed from this attack. There are lots of questions, Nadia, at this hour, which are, of course, remaining without answers because the situation is still unclear. The first one is how did these gunmen get into that house? How did they get past the security? How did they know where to go? And why was the police not under control? Why was he not being better protected? So there are lots of unanswered questions, which I think really rapidly do need to be answered by the authorities. And also, who was responsible for doing this? What armed group was it that attacked the president of Haiti and assassinated him and his wife? So those are questions at this hour that we still don't know the answers to, but it is true that the assassination of the president has plunged the country into a difficult situation, principally because under normal law in Haiti, under the constitution, it is the president of the highest court in the country, and he is supposed to take over, but he has passed away due to COVID back in June, so that position is now absent. So it is the outgoing Prime Minister, Claude Joseph, who announced this news during the night, who is currently in command, but he has been replaced already in this country since Monday by another Prime Minister whose name is Ariel Henry, who hasn't taken up official office yet. So you can see that the head of the constitutional situation in Haiti is very confused at this hour. So what we do know is the president assassinated, his wife has reportedly been assassinated, also has died from her injuries, and it is, for the moment, Claude Joseph, the outgoing Prime Minister, who is in control.
Yeah, and before all of this, Philip, Haiti was already experiencing a good degree of political turbulence, and I suppose the fear now really is that things will only get worse.
Well, the president was hotly contested already by a large group of the population, principally because back in 2017, when he took office after the only one round of the two-round elections. There was no runoff due to violence in the country, and many are saying that he didn't score a high score then, 32.8%, but only 8%, and therefore he was not a legitimate ruler. They were calling for him to stand down earlier this year. In February, he didn't do that and was accused of ruling by decree and becoming much more authoritarian on the ground. So there were growing threats against him and his rule, and at the same time, the country, as you were saying, is in a terrible crisis financially, with most of the country, 60% living on less than $2 a day. So there's rampant corruption. There are armed groups all over the place. The situation is so bad that between Port-au-Prince, the capital, it's impossible to get to the southern part of the island due to that being under the control of armed groups and bandits. So a highly unstable situation, and it can only get worse as a result of this breaking news story.